आपादमणिपर्यन्तां गुरूणामाकृतिं स्मरेत् तेन विघ्नप्रणश्यन्ति सिद्ध्यन्ति च मनोरथाः। लक्ष्मीं तनोतु नितरामितरानपेक्षम् अमृतद्वयं निगमशाखिशिखाप्रवालं हैरम्बमङ्गुरुहडम्बरचौर्यनिघ्नं विघ्नाद्रिभेदशतधारधुरन्धरः। सर्वेषां स्वागतम्. This is the Bhāvārtha session for the 27th shloka. So we have continued from 25th. 25th was the Padartha of Tattvamasi and the process of understanding Tattvamasi. 26th, we continued with saying that Pratyaksha, Paroksha, Virodha meanings must be given up, and then we will understand how, in essence, that Tattva and Tvam can have total identity. Now we go to the 27th shloka. 27th shloka also is a continuation. Here also we are going to come across three very important concepts of ancient scriptures that we will see in detail. Yes. एकात्मकत्वा जहति न संभवेत् तथा जहल्लक्षणता विरोधतः सोऽयं पदार्थाविव भागलक्षणा युज्येत तत्त्वं पदयोरदोषतः एकात्मकत्वा जहति न संभवेत् तथा जहल्लक्षणता विरोधतः सोऽयं पदार्थाविव भागलक्षणा युज्येत तत्त्वं पदयोरदोषतः. So we saw in the previous shloka that Pratyak Parokshadi Virodha, that the Pratyaksha and Paroksha, these two meanings are opposite to each other, and those kind of elements or characteristics of Tat and Tvam, that is between Paramatma and Jivatma, must be eliminated. Then we will find that there is an essence. So we have taken a example of a battery. You put it into any electronic device, the electronic device working is different. The electronic device has its own functions, it has its own characteristics, but the power that is generated, that is the energy that is generated, has the same principle. And that is how we need to understand ourselves also, where the different kind of energies that is generated has our conversion all initiates from one thing only. Even in physics also, we start from potential energy, and then we even before it becomes mechanical, electrical, etc., any other energy, nuclear, whatever it may be, from potential it has to compulsorily get converted to kinetic energy, then it gets converted to so and so and so. So that is the essence that we are trying to understand over here. So in continuation with that, what the 27th shloka is saying is ekatmakatvat. Ekatmakatvat, that is the total identity. Eka atmakatvat. So that total identity cannot be understood in na sambhavit. Cannot be understood. It cannot be understood. That is the ekatmakatva, that is the identity between the atma and jiva, cannot be understood with the concept of jahati. What is jahati? Jahati lakshana. It is there is something called as jahati lakshana. Here, jahati method or lakshana is a lakshana of avidya. It actually is brought about by that. And then continuation with that, tatha, in the same way, similarly, what happens is ajahal lakshana. Jahati is there. In the same way, ajahat is also there. That is due to a sandhi acting over there, prakriya or sandhi karya over there. Ajahati becomes ajahal. So jahal lakshana, ajahal lakshana, jahati, ajahati. So ajahati lakshanata virodhataha. So even ajahal lakshana is also not possible. Jahati lakshana, we said, is not possible to prove ekatmakatva. In the same way, ajahal lakshana or ajahati lakshana is also not able to prove. Ajahat lakshana is also not able to prove the ekatmakatva. Because of what? Because of virodhataha. Because virodhataha means they both give out certain characteristics of jiva and atma that cannot be um, that cannot sync, that cannot be brought together. They bring out distinct meanings. So because of that particular distinct meanings, when we give characteristics as so and so, very specific characteristics, when we define something, it is not possible for us to bring about similarity over there, because the characteristics or the distinction between the two is very clear. So because of these two lakshanas, jahati lakshana and ajahati lakshana, it is not possible to prove ekatmakatva. Then the question is, then how are we saying asi? That how do we prove that asi? Tat and tvam we were concentrating on when it came to the previous verse. The pratyaksha, paroksha, we have to have a look at that. But when we say asi, the total identity, in what way are we saying it is equal? So very logically they go through when arguments come about. So in that same way, they are trying to understand. First, they went through Padartha. Padartha, they explained that Tat means it is the Paramatma. And then Tvam is uh, Jivatma. Tvam also, the reason why it is associated with Jivatma is it gives rise to identity. Aham Bhava. Tvam. That is the reason Tvam word is associated with that particular individuality, Jivatma. Therefore, very logically thought, very logically connected to these things. So, then continuation is ekatmakatvat cannot be proven, na sambhavet, either by jahati lakshana or ajahati lakshana, because they bring out distinctions between the two states. But then the question arises, how is that particular total identity that we are saying, asi, the word denotes total identity, how is that possible? Then they say, see, saha ayam, soyam, saha ayam means this. So this is a man, he is this man. That aham bhava, that padartha, so aham bhava, so saha ayam padartha iva, padartha viva, padarthau iva, padartha viva. So padarthau, because of that saha ayam, that is that he is this man, because of the artha, padartha of this particular uh, statement or words, because of that, we are facing this problem. We have a dosha over there. That dosha is nothing but it can be removed through Bhagalakshana. Bhagalakshana is also one other method of introspection that has been mentioned in the Vedas itself, in the Upanishads itself. So it can be removed through Bhagalakshana yujyeta. So using the Bhagalakshana method, this specification, that is the padartha, the meaning of the word saha ayam, that can be applied such that tattvam padayoho, between the words tat and tvam, between those two words, the dosha, what dosha? That is the virodha, the distinction that we had come across through because of jahati and ajahati lakshana, that will be removed. So here, suggestive meaning of the terms tat and tvam indicates their total identity. suggestive and total. We are going back to pratyaksha and paroksha. We are taking suggestive meanings. We are not taking total meanings over there. That is one other thing. So their nearness and remoteness, that is what they call over there. That has been rejected. We are taking the suggestive meaning, the essence meaning over there in terms of tat and tvam. Taking them together, we are seeing that since it suggests, asi suggests the total identity between tat and tvam, we cannot employ jahati or ajahati method because it leads to distinction, it leads to characterization of both the particular states. Therefore, there will not be any kind of any way where we can say that they have total identity. Therefore, we have to adopt something called as bhagatyaga lakshana. Bhaga lakshana is bhagatyaga lakshana. What that bhagatyaga lakshana is, we learn in the samskara session. It is to be applied so that we can understand the or we can get rid of adoshataha. We can get rid of that dosha, that is the distinction that we have arrived, that we can get rid of using this method, and we can achieve that asi, tat and tvam, asi between tat and tvam. So that is the bhavartha for this. It's a little more complicated than just translating it or anything like that. It goes a little beyond normal understanding because, like I mentioned before, Sri Rama Gita is a very highly, um, uh, it's an advanced text. So there needs to be a lot of understanding of scriptures, concepts that has been mentioned in the Vedas, in the Upanishads. So here, when we say jahalakshana or jahati lakshana, it means that we are employing the suggestive meaning hidden behind sentences. Like, for example, okay, we'll see the examples in the samskara session anyway. Jahati is suggestive meaning. So we are the suggestive meanings cannot be employed. Jahati, it cannot be used. And then we have ajaha lakshana, which means literal interpretation. So they're basically saying that figurative interpretation and literal interpretation cannot be used. When we say there is total identity between tat and tvam. So there is a special method to understand the total identity concept. That is the asi concept. For that, we need to use this particular bhagatyaga lakshana. Bhagatyaga lakshana is also another very method that has been mentioned, and it is very methodical also, and that also needs to be understood. So this bhavartha is simply that ekatmakatvat न संभवेत जहति तथा अजहल लक्षणता विरोधतः. Then how do we understand the asi? Then it is sa ayam iti padarthau iva bhagalakshana yujyeta tattvam padayoho adoshatah. So using that, the dosha that has arisen, that gets rid of using bhagatyaga lakshana. We'll understand further in the samskara session about the deep meanings, about the methods and the concepts, that was ancient concepts of jahati, ajahati, and bhagatyaga lakshana. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः प्रतिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीषाम् गोब्राह्मणेभ्यो शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि।